All right, see this hill? It's pretty steep. It's gonna get steeper. I'm getting sort of out of breath here. If you are a college football fan, let me take a breather here. Taking a little breather. I need to get in shape. Whew. There are ways to make this playoff work. All right, let's talk some shit. There's too many college bowl games, and they don't make any sense. The players don't want to play in them. Half the guys that are going to the NFL draft aren't playing in them, and even the guys that are playing in the playoff are like,
wait, should I risk my career for a national championship?
if you are a fan of college football, you know how college football has been with a playoff. And that is something that the NCAA has to really deal with. And that is... NCAA is a boardroom full of morons just throwing a bouncy ball around like a kindergarten class, asking them to use paste, and half the kids are eating it. I'm getting sort of out of breath here. The fact that there are bowl games called the ReliaQuest Bowl, the Boca Raton Bowl. Have you ever been to Boca Raton? It's just a retirement community. There's a Myrtle Beach Bowl. All it has there is golf, mini golf, and strip clubs. Yeah, I've been to Myrtle Beach. Yeah, it's all that's there. There's a Pinstripe Bowl that's played at Yankee Stadium. You think kids from the South or wherever school want to just go hang out in cold New York and play at Yankee Stadium? I mean, I guess it's pretty cool to play at Yankee Stadium, but for what? All I know is that it makes all the morons that sit around the NCAA board very nervous, because these guys are getting $1 million deals coming out of high school. They're investing in kids straight out of high school. They may not even start on the college team. They may not even make it to the NFL. A lot of those guys do not. Go do your research on how many guys that are in the top 10 recruits in the last 25 draft classes came from the top 10 recruits going into college. It ain't many. Because these kids are getting beat to half the kids that come out of Alabama go to the NFL and they're done in 3 years because Nick Saban pounds them into sand. Let me take a breather here. I need to get in shape for season 3 of Fan Control Football and season 1 of Fan Control Hoops. What I will say is that the NCAA to come out and say,
oh, we're gonna do an 8-team playoff. Isn't that amazing?
No, you're not reinventing the wheel. You didn't exhume the corpse of Albert Einstein to figure that out, you idiots. We've been begging for this forever. Here is where I'm absolutely torn. How do you make the bowl system work within the playoffs? Guess what?
Nobody gives a shit.
Is anybody going to the Capital One Bowl, the Gator Bowl, the Holiday Bowl? How do you fix the system? Well, I'll tell you what, I can fix my heart rate by stopping a little bit, taking a little breather. I'm almost to the top of the hill. Man, I gotta work on these workouts. But I will say, if you are a college football fan, there are ways to make this playoff work, okay? And there's ways to make all of these kids care about it and get your stars to play in the game. NIL helps. They're gonna make some money on themselves as they should have been doing all along. The NCAA is an absolute joke.
Oh, well, vacate the wins because his mom got a G.
Who cares? If his family's broke and the college wants to help them out, let them help them out. I'm actually gonna walk backwards down the hill because I got a bad left knee. So this should be fun. It's really, really simple. You take the sponsors from the bowls and the people that work on the bowls and have them run the playoff games. The teams that don't make the playoff, there are still bowls for them. I'm sure there's a ReliaQuest and an Amarillo Bowl, Santa Fe, New Mexico Bowl. There's probably a Montana Bowl sponsored by Yellowstone. Kevin Costner's just in there going,
I play football.
Anyway, what I am saying to anybody in college football is that if you do not think that getting to 16 teams is a good idea, you have no idea how this works. You shorten the season, you get rid of all non-conference games, you give the other schools the same advantages of the other ones. I mean, half these conferences are becoming super conferences anyway, so who cares? You get rid of the conference championship game, you make the first round of the playoffs a home game, you give these kids an opportunity to play for something that matters instead of a jersey and some warm-up pants at the Donna Karan of New York, sponsored by Marc Jacobs, brought to you by Marc Jacobs Bowl, held at the ice skating rink at Rockefeller Center. Follow me on that one? That's what I thought. College football blows this time of year, and we could go right from the end of the regular season straight in the playoffs instead of a month wait. Half the time, these teams come in a month later, they're rusty, they play like and the games blow. We don't need that. We need an actual football season. Can you imagine, excuse my language, can you imagine if the NFL just took at December, right after Christmas, they're like, hey, we're gonna wait a month and then play the playoffs. How the does that work? You're all morons. Division 3 has a playoffs, Division 2 has a playoffs, Division 1 AA has a playoff. All these except for
Division 1 college football.
And you're gonna be like,
Well, Josh, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money.
I know.
Everybody always gives me that. It's all about the money. It's all about the money.
You think they're making money at the Myrtle Beach Bowl?
That's my thoughts. That's talking some shit. At least I got like a semi-workout out of it. Did you enjoy that video from Fan-Controlled Sports and Entertainment? Of course you did. What was it? I have no idea. This is a stock end card on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, watch all of our other videos, comment, like, subscribe, but make sure you don't smash the like button. Use a reasonable amount of pressure. And as always, power to the fans.